everyone. We're back with Alex Morgan and Mackenzie Doniak. They're both going to give their quick thoughts on the match this weekend, and then we'll open it up for questions. Alex, if you want to go first.
Sure. Obviously, this is a huge accomplishment for the club to be able to make playoffs for the first time in our first year. I'm really excited for Sunday, and I'm hearing that we're pushing towards a sellout. So I think that this city and community has really rallied behind us, and it's great to represent this club.
Yeah, similar to Alex, we're just really excited. You know, being an expansion team to get this far has been great, but we want to keep pushing the limit, and we've been preparing for it, and I think we're ready. So we're excited.
Jackie, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mackenzie, Alex, appreciate you both taking some time. I had a question for each of you, so I'll start with you, Mackenzie. But yeah, just in being from Southern California, what does it mean to just be able to experience this playoff game in your kind of home state, and then especially like facing your former team as well?
Yeah, I'm super excited. You know, to be able to come back to Southern California and play this whole season has been a full circle moment for me. And to make it this far, like I said, we're just so excited. And if we want to keep pushing the limit for our team and, you know, preparing for Sunday, we're just ready to grind it out and get that win. So we're really excited.
Yeah, and then Alex, for you, kind of just a fun question, but I've heard that VG Donuts is a spot. So wanted to get your thoughts on what you like about it, or just any good donut recommendations that you have on that.
I don't know where you heard that, but it's absolutely true. VG's is a gem in San Diego. The Goods is also a great one in Carlsbad. Mackenzie can attest to that. But lots of great donut shops, and I'm a big donut girl. Coffee and donuts are my thing, in moderation. So yeah, VG's, cinnamon roll, glazed twist. I'm really never going to turn down a donut. So if anyone wants to bring me donuts, I'm here.
Sounds good. Appreciate you both. Thanks so much. See you Sunday.
Tom Krasovich.
Well, I wish I had a more pleasant topic to bring up, but we got to ask you what you thought of the report. And before the season, Alex, you made the point that at least there are protocols in place now. So what do you think of this report and where things are going?
Yeah, we pushed last year for policies in place to create reporting mechanisms for players to feel more safe and like they can report misconduct without consequence by the club or the league. We've obviously seen that being used through this report, through the Yates report, which I think has really uncovered a lot of systemic failure from the NWSL and also rooting into youth soccer as well. So, you know, it's devastating, and it's a little overwhelming, the information that was in the report, but also I feel for every NWSL player, current and former, that has either been victim of this misconduct, abuse, or harassment, or has you know, been on a team where they have seen this occur. I mean, you know, there's really no way to sugarcoat things. It's kind of been really tough. I think it's created a lot of conversation within our locker room, within the organization, within players all over the league. Myself and Mackenzie have been on NWSL PA calls more in the last 2 weeks than we have the whole season since signing the CBA at the beginning of season. So I think the good thing that's come out of it is clubs are looking at player safety as a first, and I think that, you know, now we're looking at, you know, who was directly involved in you know, in this behavior, and making sure that those are held accountable, you know, including the owners that really try to brush a lot of this abuse and harassment under the rug. But at the end of the day, we're trying to all heal, while at the same time look at postseason and this playoff game, and it's a lot to digest in a short period of time, but I think players are doing their best to do that.
And Alex, can you tell us how you're doing with your knee? I'm fortunate that you've had to go through this at such a big time. How are things coming along?
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate time that I injured my knee right before the Orlando game as we made a push for playoffs. I'm trying my best to be available for Sunday, but it really is day to day at this moment. And as much as I'm hopeful, I can't really set expectations because my body has to really tell myself in this club whether I'll be ready to go. But I've dealt with knee injuries in the past. I think I know my body better than anyone. So I'm just trying to be my biggest advocate and voice for what I'll be able to do this weekend and moving forward.
Thank you.
Alicia?
Hi, thanks to you both for your time today. I wanted to ask about having the time during the international break to prepare. Obviously, your international teammates weren't around, but there was a group of you who were, I imagine, able to train and prepare for this game. So what was that process like?
Yeah, you know, we had that week off, but I think we kept in the routine of things like we've been doing all season, and really just trained things that we needed to work on and our strengths, and just honed in on this playoff game and preparing for that, and not really taking our foot off the brake.
And then with the Padres in the playoffs right now too, is there sort of a feeling of like San Diego's, this is a great time for San Diego sports since both the teams, first division teams in the city are in the playoffs right now?
Yeah, it's a special time for San Diego and for sports fans here in San Diego. So for us to both be in the playoffs at the same time on the same weekend, it's really great to be able to support each other and just have San Diego enjoy this time.
Nice, thank you.
Jeff?
Hey, thank you both for talking ahead of this game and obviously from a difficult couple of weeks. I'm wondering, from a player perspective, at least some of the conversations I've had, there's been some talk of it is playoffs, that there are things to be celebrated here and trying to focus on some of that. And obviously the dichotomy of that with, these big crowds and these big moments with everything that's happened. I'm just wondering kind of what maybe your hope is from a player perspective of what this weekend might look like and how it can be celebrated from a fan perspective and otherwise, and just maybe as PA reps, if there's anything you can share in terms of anything to expect and, potential player solidarity or anything at these games.
Well, I think, each player, is processing and healing this time, like differently. Each team is in a different place as well. Chicago's in a very different place than us within their organization. So I think that having a lot of PA calls are really important to be able to understand where each team is, where all the players are, and kind of making sure that we allow space for that and don't put more pressure on the players to feel like we have to do something or say something more. I feel like we've said our piece. We've done as much as we can. We've gotten to this point now where player safety is a priority, and there are protocols in place. There's commitments by San Diego as well that they're looking at implementing moving forward that we've worked with them on in the recent week. So that's really important. And I think in terms of solidarity, we us players throughout the NWSL are incredibly supportive of each other. But I'm not sure if you're going to necessarily see something before the game or us wearing anything in particular for the game. It's kind of been a really heavy 2 weeks, and I'm not sure that we want to put any more added pressure on players to come up with something when we've really all tried to process it just at the very least. So it's been an interesting time, but we're really hopeful looking forward.
Thank you.
Last question, Alex.
Hi there, Alex Hazzy with NBC Sports and On Her Turf. Alex, I was wondering if you can speak to what you hope other women's sports and leagues outside of the NWSL learn from the Yates report. I think something that scares me a little bit is that while we've seen some great progress in the NWSL with CBA, there are plenty of leagues that don't have unions, don't have HR reps, and I'm curious if you can share anything on that.
Yeah, I think our union was the first step in creating more of a professional environment. That happened a couple of years ago, creating or finally executing and signing the first CBA was an important step as well. And kind of listening, believing players and putting player safety first was also a huge step this year that players really demanded by using their voices and sharing their stories. And I am really hopeful with the NWSL moving forward, but I know that this isn't a soccer issue. I hope that people do learn from the Yates report, from the recommendations from us players really standing up for ourselves. And we're also like always here to support other women's sports leagues as well. We found like even with the equal pay lawsuit, I myself and a lot of other players talked to so many other players from other federations and countries to help them in their equal pay fight. So I can imagine there could be some similarities in just the support of the women's sports community within this country.
All right, that's it. Thank you to Alex and Mackenzie, and thank you all for jumping on, and hopefully see you this Sunday at our quarterfinal. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.